Welcome to another edition of Carnivore Bites. I'm your host, Jeff Sherman, along with Dr. Eric Lopkin. And Dr. Lopkin, I am a reflective person, believe it or not, and I like to think about things maybe too much. And I was thinking about our conversations on Carnivore Bites 3-4 months ago, certainly 4 months ago. And events always arose, even the impeachment and the aftermath of it. And you pegged Trump's chances of around 70%, and I completely agreed. Now I'm going to have to say, and I've even talked to people that surprised me, who are not voting for Trump, who have kind of had it. I give his chances 40% or less. What do you say?
I'm not sure that I'll go that low yet. Certainly, I don't put him any.
Before you say that, just want to interject. The only poll that has him in okay standing is Rasmussen, that has him nationally -4. Some polls have him -12. Just want to throw that in there. So the farthest deficit any incumbent has been at, by the way.
Yes, and although we've talked about this over and over again, how the poll, we saw what the polls were in 2016, they were completely wrong. Right now, I don't put his.
Were they?
Oh no, some of them were even worse. But right now, I don't put his chances any better than 50-50.
Okay. Yes, because of him, and I think one of the worst things he did was coronavirus, that he couldn't keep his act together. Here, this is my opinion, that his poll numbers were actually going up when this thing first hit. He gave press conferences. He gave the presidential address about, closing down the borders. He looked relatively, for Donald Trump, very presidential, and then he couldn't keep it together, and it went really south, didn't it?
It really did. He lost something. I don't know what exactly it was, but honestly, I believe what took him down from when we were saying 70% to what I'm saying now, 50, best case 50-50, is his own tweets. He went after people he should never have gone after. He threw temper tantrums, and people started backing away. Now he still has,
in the middle of a crisis, that's even when the economy's going well, 3% unemployment. I think people put up with it. Whatever, it was an amusement. It was a distraction. When you're about to lose your job, when there's no end in sight for this pandemic, people look at it in a different way. You should be attending to business. You should be presidential. That's what I think, at least. I'll let it all go to you.
No, that's a very good analysis. His inability to tell that this was a genuine crisis and not something manufactured like the impeachment was, like the Mueller report was. The fact that he could not tell the difference between these crippled him. And he responded to COVID the same way he responded to impeachment and Mueller report. And he couldn't, because, again, impeachment, Mueller, these were manufactured. So he fought back. You can't fight back claiming a crisis isn't real. And that's what he did. He went off about people manufacturing things and, it's not as bad as people say. No, you have to deal with the facts on the ground, and he did not do this.
I agree, but he also had a real opportunity, and especially to turn it around, even people that were a little cringeworthy of his overall demeanor. He could have been real presidential, that this is awful. Well, he had some moments. We'll get through it together. We've always had. But no, he started attacking people. I don't have to go down the whole litany. And I think people were like, what the heck is going on here? This thing is really bad, one of the worst crises we've ever faced as a country. And he's, tweeting about this, that, all the stuff that you just mentioned. Again, he was self-induced. You said it months ago. The only way he could lose was a self-induced a wound. I believe he knows he's in trouble. His staff knows he's in trouble, his, campaign staff. And I think we'll have to see. Now, what can save him is a vaccine on the horizon and also Biden's own complete ineptitude. And that leads me to the next question for Dr. Lopkin is, what does a Biden world, United States, look like? Because I'd have to say, if I was 30 years old, starting my career, my life, I'd be very scared.
From the policies that Biden has talked about, you're going to see the stock market go down. You're going to see the economy fall apart.
Well, it's not going to. The stock market's not going to go down. It's going to free fall. When the people on Wall Street really think, oh my God, this stuff's for real. Yeah, good luck. You heard it here, Dr. Lopkin, and you'll say, wow, he was actually right.
Yeah, we're going to see. Again, one of the things that concerns me most about a Biden presidency is the fact that I have spoken to high-ranking Democrats, and they have told me point blank that Biden is suffering from dementia. So that begs, they have no doubt about this. That begs the question: if Biden is president and he has dementia, who is really running the country? And right now, that's a big question mark because they're staying in the shadows. So, if he manages to get centrist people around him who are managing things, the damage could be minimized. If he's got left-wing wackos managing things, or worse, he's managing things himself in a demented state of mind, we're going to have some serious problems.
I think
Biden's dementia is actually why I still peg Trump at 50-50 and not lower. Because once he comes out of his bunker and starts making speeches and starts making appearances, I think people are going to go, well, wait a minute, we can't vote for him. And then you have Kanye West, who is making all sorts of ridiculous claims, but if he actually manages to be on some ballots, he will pull votes from Biden, not from Trump. So
I agree, but another question would be for Dr. Lopkin: if you're Biden, why would you come out of the bunker? And in fact, why would you even debate?
He's not going to have a choice.
Make up a thing. Go ahead.
If he doesn't debate, that's going to bring up more health questions. Why isn't he debating? If he's not healthy enough to debate, he's certainly not healthy enough to handle the presidency. I think we're honestly at a point where the winner of the 2020 election is going to be the person that sabotages themselves the least.
Yes. I would have to say, if Biden does engage in a debate, I then move Trump's chances at 55. Because I think Biden in a debate could be just horrific. And I think they're looking for any reason, and there'll be many. Don't kid yourself. It may not happen because they could say anything from Trump's unworthy to debate or any pandemic. Who knows? But I believe that they're looking at a strategy of how do we get out of these debates because it can only hurt them.
It's possible, but if he does, that's actually going to energize Trump's base. And he doesn't want to risk that. Remember, I still think if Trump manages to win, it's going to be a victory the same way he beat Hillary. I still think he's going to lose the popular vote, but win the electoral if he wins. you don't want to energize your opponent's base in a case like that, because his base is those same electoral states that elected him last time.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be interesting to see how this all shakes out. And we'll be at our live Carnivore podcast on Friday with a possible interesting guest, but we'll have to see if everything falls into place. But we will be doing it on Friday, correct, at 4:00.
And you can listen live at blogtalkradio.com/Carnivore Radio.
Thank you, Dr. Lopkin. Thank you, listeners. Take care.
See you next time.
You've been listening to Carnivore Bites, part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can catch us every week on carnivoreradio.com, exvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcast Store, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you find podcasts.